And hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. I'm Ruel Gaviola. This is Tabletop Recall, where I talk about the best board games of the month. This month, we're looking back at September 2025. Everyone's in chat already. Thank you for your patience as I dealt with tech issues. I don't know if you can tell the lighting's different. I literally, I was filming last night, and there's a light that I have on my wall slash ceiling over here. Boom! It just blew up. So I'm going with two lights right in front of me. I think it looks okay. Hopefully, let me know in comments how it looks. But I see y'all are chatting away. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Brian Ashman, Vending Machines, Cosmic Beat, Brian Ashman, oh, Imaginaric, Mopop in the house, Cosmic Beat, B Travis, IT, Omar Hernandez, AB Trube, and lots of great folks. Appreciate y'all. D Walls is in the house here. Thank you, Brian Ashman. Games Mama, hello. Good to see ya. Highas. Y'all are already chatting about the games, so this is great. So what I do is every month, at the start of the month, the first Monday of the month, I talk about the games that we previously played in the previous month. I rank mine and then I ask folks in a Discord, and I'm going to drop my Discord in chat right now. Please follow if you haven't already. Come on over and join us in Discord. Lots of fun over there. Family friendly content channel, super fun way to connect with fellow gamers. We play a lot of games on Board Game Arena for free online, so we set up a bunch of games there. But come on over. What I do each month is ask folks to drop in you could either drop in your stats from BG Stats or the little graphic, or just I asked them to highlight stuff. So I've got a bunch of those already. I don't know if I was able to get everyone's because I was running late this morning and last night actually as well. But yeah, we'll be talking about those in a second. I'm going to talk about mine as well, and board games in the house. I got to get Ann's comment up here. Where did I just saw it? Everything looks good except that Dodgers jersey, JK. Yeah, I missed last week. Thank y'all for. I'm sorry. I wasn't feeling up to it last week. It's just health issues, as you get a little you get up there in the years. There certain things break down, and you can't you're not always 100%. But so I took last week off. I'm back, and I wasn't able to talk about the Dodgers last week. I will talk about them this week. I try not to cover too much of the Dodgers here, but I know Magic Eric had dropped a photo. He and his beloved Cincinnati Reds. Unfortunately, didn't last long. But you know what? I really think that Reds team is they're an up and comer. They weren't supposed to be in the playoffs this year, but thanks to their efforts and also the Mets sort of choking at the end, they got in. So they're still not at the Dodgers level, but I really like some of those young arms that you have there. You just got to develop some of those young arms. Hunter Green, he is a local kid. He's from like the LA area. So his name's been around for years, and to see him, he throws 100 miles an hour. He just needs to work on a couple of extra pitches, and he's going to be a dominant force in the years to come. But yeah, congrats to everyone who's still watching baseball. If you are, good luck to your teams. I will leave it at that because I don't know if there's any Phillies fans here, but boy, what a win for the Dodgers the other night. Magic Arrow. Okay, I'm locking out. Yeah, D-Walls, yeah, let's not mention the Guardians, LOL. Yeah, what a rough way to end their season. Hey, Slivers, yes, so far the PC's behaving. I've got a bunch of windows here. What I'm so folks, Slivers, if you don't know, Slivers is the master IT tech guy that all of us streamers talk to. And I've been having problems with my computer lately. So if you see anything funky, anyone just let me know. The real test is going to be next week when I have Ray and Chris when we do the R&R show. So we have an R&R show next week and the following week. Tomorrow, no show. But so far, the windows and everything behaving. And I'm wondering I don't know if it's a internet thing or if it was just a Twitch thing because Ray is East Coast. Actually, but they're both East Coast now. And they're just trying to sync everything up. So far, it looks good, but we shall see. Maybe true. Oh, okay, cool. There's a great article on how the Dodgers fixed Roki Sasaki. Roki has been a savior for the Dodgers, a savior. You know, Michelle and I were talking about it a couple of weeks ago. We're like, what if he could be our guy out of the bullpen? And sure enough, he has been. Anne's talking about getting game to the table tomorrow for the Halloween season from D Walls. Nice. Love that. Let me see what else we got over here. Brian Ashman was talking about Raw. Oh, Ratzia, and that is bidding. Hey, thank you, Magic Eric, for subscribing. We have Bruzar Gratterall, who just announced he's not going to be playing in the playoffs anymore. I need to update some of these gifts. But thank you so much, as always, for your support, Magic Eric. Appreciate it. Let me catch up on things. Oh, Brian was talking about got my Kickstarter Raw, and I've tabled the Raw and Right add-on. I've also played and really enjoyed Cardia on BGA. Oh, nice. Happy New Year, Cosmic Beast says. Of what month it is? Did I say Happy New Year? Oh my gosh. Well, happy Monday Fun Day, everybody. What we're going to do, I will go through the games that I played last month. I'll rank them. I'll, talk a little bit about them. I'll take a short, quick break, and then we will talk about the games that you all played as well. I've got my coffee, my iced coffee. I've got my water. And, oh, B. Travis, yes. I have seen this. Super excited. Did you know it's on BGA? Like, I don't know if it's an alpha or a beta. Did they fully release Twilight Imperium on a BGA as well? Anyone know? I have not played I was talking to, was it Jake Michaels recently over at Good Times Society? We're talking about trying to get a game on BGA. But yeah, I have not. Okay, it is an alpha on BGA, yeah. I want to wait till it's like everything's smoothed out, because I don't want to be the guy, trying to play a big old game like that online and things are buggy. But yeah, the Steam one I'm sure is going to be amazing. I love. Do you know, B. Travis, do you know who's making it? Like my favorite company right now that makes digital board game implementations is Direwolf, right? Direwolf, I think they do a phenomenal job with their digital board games. Okay, I think I'm caught up on chat. By the way, shout out to BGG for hosting. As always, I appreciate it. Thanks to BGG. If you're watching on BGG, come on over to Twitch and or YouTube, and you could hang out with us here. Oh, let me get this ready. So I am Red Square Games. Thank you, B. Travis. I'm not familiar with the Red Square Games. I don't know as many like digital companies as I do analog board game companies. Folks, don't forget to stay hydrated. Really important to do that. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'll do this YouTube intro. So obviously you are watching on live on Twitch and YouTube. This will remain as a VOD, but then what I'll do is edit some of this stuff out for its own video where, hey, I'm just talking about my top 20 games of September. And then we'll do all the other stuff as well. So, folks, thank you so much for hanging out. I am going to get ready here. And am I ready? No, I am not ready yet. I'm going to go over here. Okay. And then I get this window open. Yay. All right, cool. Okay. Yeah. All right. So stick around. Again, I have all the comments and stuff from Discord over the last 24 hours or so. Again, I may not have gotten some this morning. I'm sorry. I should set like a time limit. Maybe I should do like everyone get their games in by Sunday night before the Monday. I don't know. Was it? Okay, today is the 6th. Yeah, so this is the first Monday of October. Okay. Excuse me. Okay. Let's get going, friends. All right. Hi, friends. I'm Ruel Gaviola. This is Tabletop Recall. It's a monthly show where I talk about the games that I played in the previous month and also talk about the games that you played in the previous month. But I'm going to start with mine. I ranked 20 games. I played 20 different games this month. And kicking things off is an old school yet new school, but old school type of game. What am I talking about? Glad you asked, Ruel. It's my number 20 for the month, Monopoly X-Men 97. So what this is the old school Monopoly game, but it's a new school version of X-Men 97. But X-Men 97 is from 1997, so it's old school. So you know what I mean? Old school, new school, old school. Anyways, long story short, this is Monopoly. And this is yet another reskin. And you know what's fun? So we played this over at Critical Hit Games on Thursday night. We do a live stream every Thursday night, and these are some of the games that they have on sale at the store. And as you know, Monopoly always sells. And X-Men '97, people love that animated series. And instead of houses and hotels, you're actually building, the mansion where Professor X and the X-Men are, go to school and everything. And then they do still have like jail, go to jail spots, free parking, etc. But what made it interesting for our game, we played by the exact rules. So there was no house rules as far as like money on free parking, et cetera, et cetera. And whenever we landed on property, if no one bought it, then it immediately went to auction. So it was funny to play by the real rules because the game really moved on a lot quicker. Like we played for about an hour, maybe 90 minutes total, because we chit chat and everything else. But we did like that hour and a half. One of us, I think it was Chris, might have been close to elimination, and then it was me and Andrew, and I'm pretty sure Andrew was going to win because he had the most money. He definitely was collecting the most rent and stuff. I think I ended up building. Let me see. Did I build like basically hotels, right? I forget what they're called in this, but you're just adding on to the the mutant mansion there. But yeah, as Magic Eric says, folks, we are recording this live. Magic Eric says, who else has the X-Men theme in their head now? Yeah. Let me know in the comments if you get the X-Men theme in your head. But that's my number 20 game of the month, Monopoly X-Men '97. All right. So let's move on now. I've got number 19. This one fell low on my list, but make no doubts about it. I mean, I absolutely love this game. It's one of my favorite games of recent times. I don't know why I ranked it so low this time. It was just one of those things. I played a lot. I just had a bunch of games that I wanted to talk about, and this one just fell off for some reason. It is number 19, Moon Colony Bloodbath. Now, this actually, I think, made my number one in previous month, a couple of months ago. I got this at Gen Con, absolutely loved it. Again, I took it to Critical Hit Games. We took it to the store and taught Chris and Andrew again, and they immediately loved it. This is a shared deck builder. It's a resource management game with some tableau building. You're building your tableau or building an engine, and as you build it, it gets wrecked immediately. And you're just trying to survive. You just want at least one survivor somewhere in your colony or where in a building or whatever, and the last person standing wins. It is a lot of fun. I mean, honestly, it should be in my top 10. It's just one of those things that got squeezed this month because I played a lot more games, and I love Moon Colony Bloodbath. And if you haven't played it, folks, highly recommend. It is so good. It's by the designer of Dominion, Donald X. Vaccarino, and you know what? He knows what he's doing. I think this kid may have a this kid may have a future in board gaming. So that's number 19, Moon Colony Bloodbath. All right, let's move on to number 18. Another game that I played before. I've done a solo video for my channel, and I decided to do a solo video for Critical Hit Games. My number 18 this month is Twinkle Twinkle, a wonderful tile-laying game from Amon Anderson, a designer of Gnome Hollow, last year's hit. This is a hit as well. In Twinkle Twinkle, you are building a tableau of different space forms, stars, constellations, asteroids, comets, etc., etc. And as you can see, I don't know if you can tell here, but they are some really nice acrylic tiles, plastic tiles that are transparent. So you can flip them over and stuff, and you're going to line these up. They all score differently. So it's a really nice combination of drafting these different tiles before your opponents. In the solo game, you're playing against an AI that has a couple little tweaks as far as what they would draft when it's their turn. I love this game. It plays quickly, but it's got enough thinkiness where it's not just oh, I know exactly what to do. No, you have choices here. So Twinkle Twinkle, it plays 1 to 4. I've liked it at all player counts. But the solo game is not bad, friends, and it is a nice little challenge. I love solo games like this where they take Tile Lane and make it a pleasant experience where, hey, I'm just trying to, line up all my asteroids in one field, or get my, the black holes by themselves so they can score correctly. What's great too is there's a lot more ways to score these items when you flip over to the B side, the advanced side, or you can add some of the expansions. So they've got a few already, and those expansions really ramp things up as far as complexity. Or I wouldn't say it was like complicated or anything, but there are definitely options that you have where you're gonna score a bunch of new stuff. So Twinkle Twinkle, folks, really really good game. And if you love Tile Lane like I do, be sure to check that out. Okay, number 17 is a different one for me. Well, I don't know if it's different. I've played this game a bunch. Did I say punch? I don't know why I said punch. You know why I said punch? I was thinking punch line. And what's that got to do with this? I'm going to show you right now. My number 17 is Green Team Wins, but this is from the Comedy Store. So what do I mean by Comedy Store? What I mean by Comedy Store is we actually played this at the Comedy Store in LA, West Hollywood, to be exact, and hosted by Grant Lyon. And there's Grant, and shoot, I forget his buddy's name. He's another comedian. They're co-hosts at this. And what they do is they have a lineup of comedians, and they do their normal comedic set. You have the opener, and then between each comedian, Grant hosts Green Team Wins. So everyone in the club has their own Green Team Wins, pen and not paper, but there's erasable board where you can write the answers. And we play during the breaks. And what's neat is Grant takes the answers or the questions. He makes up questions based on what the comedian's set is all about. So if a comedian's talking about one particular topic, or they'll just pick something out that they said, then Grant will turn that into a fun question like, oh, what do you think of this? And oh, it is hilarious. Not always safe for work. So there are some adult comments and topics, but it is a blast. So Grant premiered this, I think back in, was it May or June or something? No, maybe it might have been before that. But then just last month of September, he did a second one. And Michelle and we actually convinced my brother and his wife to come out. So they had a great time. And then I think in November 2nd, maybe the next one. If you're watching this on YouTube on the VOD, I'll put a link below to Grant's show, and so you can get tickets to the Comedy Store. It's a great night out. The last two have been on Sundays, so I'm not sure if it's this upcoming one's on Sunday, but be sure to check out. It is a great time. And Green Team Wins, played at the Comedy Store, is my number 17 for the month. Okay, let's move on to my number 16, an oldie but a goodie. Number 16 is Splendor. Now, I played this at the World Series of Board Gaming recently. This video is actually me and Michelle. We were playing the Marvel edition, which is terrific. But I played the OG Splendor at the World Series of Board Gaming. Proud to say I finished in second place out of my table of 3. You like how I threw that in there? And out of like over 100 players, I was second at my table. Now, I've got to share my experience. Now, Splendor is a classic, engine building game, very accessible, but the 3 players at my table. So it was me and 2 others. So me, 2 other gentlemen. The guy who won, he scored 15 points. Me and my other opponent, we were at 7 and 6. So we got smoked. And I knew what he was doing. I know the big point strategy. And it's like, I know what you're doing. They were both doing it. I was trying to go the opposite way, trying to be all sneaky. It didn't work. But I learned some things about Splendor because the guy who won, really nice guy from France, I think. We just discussed strategy afterwards, and he was showing me what he did. Now, I talked to Angela Tal, the winner from 2 years ago, and we actually got to play Splendor together, and she taught me some stuff too. So maybe I go back next year and play. I don't know. But shout out to the World Series of Board Gaming for bringing me over this year again. Always have a great time there. And that's my number 16 game of the month, Splendor. Hey, Legends in the house. Thanks for joining me. Okay, let's move on to number 15. Now, number 15, I was creating a video for this, but it is not ready yet. And so I'm going to show another video, but I do really enjoy this game. I was actually surprised how much I enjoyed this. It's Ohanami. This is a card game that is now out from Panasaurus. They picked it up. They actually went out of print a while ago, and it's now back in print. And in Ohanami, you are trying to create 3 gardens. Oh, by the way, it's Roll for Crew. Thank you for letting me use your video without your permission. Well, I'm asking you nicely. Can I use your video? So as you can see here, you're just trying to line these up based on numbers. Let me skip over here if I can get some more action. Oh, this is their review. So let me go to the action here. It's a deck of cards numbered 1 through 120, and you're trying to get numbers in ascending and descending order. Once you start a garden or a column, you can only add to above the number or below the number. You cannot go in between. So for instance, in this case, if I had started the 67, 65, 64, if I got the number 66, I could not add it here. I would have to add it above 23 or above 58. Likewise, this number 18, where you decide to place it, you really want to place it under the 19, because if you put on 18 through 44, you're going to lose all those numbers 19 through 43. And you have 3 rounds where you can do where you draft cards and then place them. So you're going to draft 2 cards every turn and then place them. Now you do have the option, you can place one, discard the other, or you can discard both. But of course you want to get as many as you can, because these are scored in different ways each round. So every round you're going to, once certain conditions hit, you're going to score. And I thought I saw, there's a scorecard right there. As you can see here, you can score different colors. So for each watercolor, blue, you have in the first round, score 3 points. So that's all you're going to score in the first round. Second round, you can score 2 different colors. Third round, you score all 3. And then you're going to also score the cherry blossoms, which are all over here. And that's just based on how many you have. The more you have, the more points you're going to get. And then whoever has the most points wins. It's a terrific game. I really enjoyed this one. And like I said, my video will be out soon. But for now, you can watch Roll for Crits or other videos online. That's my number 15, Ohanami. All right, I need to hydrate, folks. So this part of the video will be edited in the final edition. I just want to say shout out to Magic Eric 67. Sorry, parent of teens. Yep, but 67. That's what I meant to say. Aloha again, legends. Hope you're doing well. And I am going to, move on to number 14. After I go over here, get this ready. Appreciate all you hanging out. All right, let's get back to it. Okay, number 14 is a classic game to me in a new edition that just came out from Allplay. Number 14 is Wordsy. This is probably my favorite word game of all time, from Gil Hova. In this real-time game, you are going to flip over cards, and these are all cards, consonants, no vowels. And you can use any letters you want, but including ones that are on the board, and obviously vowels. But you want to get points for the ones that are on here, on the table in front of you. And you're going to get points depending on where they are in the columns. 5, 4, 3, 2. You have a certain amount of time, and as you can see here, I'm coming up with a word. I'm playing the solo game. Solo version works perfectly fine. I do enjoy this one. I actually play it on my phone. There's an app called Aval, which is basically Wordsy online. That's how I play it. But this analog version works just fine. I love this at all player counts, and it's a word game where you're just trying to find words based on the cards that you can see here. There's some strategy involved. You really want to use the cards that are in the 5 and 4 columns, obviously, for the most points. But you can see some of the points have bonuses, like the Z and the Q and the J. The more rare letters will give you extra points. So those can score you points as well. And I'm going to tell you right now, my tip, number 1 tip, is learn how to spell the word acknowledgements, because that always seems to get you a ton of points in Wordsy. But I love it, and shout out to Allplay for coming up with a new version. Okay, Moving it right along to number 13, I went old school for this. I went way old school for this. How old school, you may ask? I'm glad you asked, Ruel. I went all the way to the Stone Age, number 13. This is one of my all-time favorite worker placement games. It may have been my first worker placement game that I played. No, actually, no, it wasn't. But this one I just immediately fell in love with. It still plays really well. I think it's just so smooth. It may run a little long for some taste, and I can see that criticism. But I think the expansion is terrific. I got to play this recently at the World Series of Board Gaming. Had a really pleasant time. I walked into the open gaming, and some gentleman was just walking around with his pimped out copy of Stone Age, his blinged out copy. He said, "Hey, you want to play Stone Age?" I was like, "Absolutely." I sat down. He had two women join us. It was their first time playing. Me and the gentleman whose copy it was, he taught the game. I filled in just a little bit. Had a great time, and the women who they played for the first time, they really enjoyed their experience. So in this game, it's a worker placement game. Send out your workers to do various things, gather resources, make babies. Yes, that's my favorite part, is going to the love shack, to increase your tribe to get more workers. But remember, at the end of each round, you gotta feed those pesky workers, those pesky Stone Age folks. Gotta feed them with food. If you don't, they will starve and you lose points. But you can use other resources to feed them. That represents trading resources for food. But I always like to say, have a wood sandwich or have a stone sandwich, my friends. That's what you get to eat today. It's a classic game. Be sure to check out my video. Daryl and I played this on the clock, so we played it in under 30 minutes, part of our speed run through games. But I love Stone Age. It's brilliant, and it's my number 13 for the month. Let's move on, friends, to number 12. What do we have for number 12? This is a newish game. It's funny as I say newer, but it's been out now a couple of years. But it's another one I played at the World Series of Board Gaming because I got to hang out with Dave Luza and Duchess, and I forget who else it was. It was a friend. But sorry if I can't remember who it was, but Duchess and Dave, Luza Palooza, we have a long history of going. We used to do TLN together. They're still doing TLN. As I announced at the start of the year, I've stepped back from TLN. But we played a game of Heat, Pedal to the Metal, and terrific game. One of the best racing games out there. Now, I actually run hot and cold on this. Sometimes I really, really enjoy this game. Other times I don't really care for it. Was it Wigsby Beyond Dead? Maybe it was Derek. I don't remember. Thank you, though, Beyond Dead, for reminding me. Anyways, Heat, Pedal to the Metal. I think it's a brilliant classic, a brilliant card-based race game. But I don't know. Sometimes what it is. I never win at this game. Maybe that's what it is. I never win. Especially like Dave Luza is great at this game, and I believe he played in the World Series. So we saw each other at the World Series of Board Gaming, and I think he actually played in the big tournament for this. Was it this one? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. But anyways, he crushed us in this. We only played one lap because it was like super late at night already. Was it Bondsnator? Maybe it was Bonds. No, Bonds. She was playing something else at the time. But anyways, doesn't matter who it was. It was a terrific time. And I always tell people, if you really enjoyed Flamme Rouge, it's got a little similarity in the foundation in this game, but this takes it to the next level. I think that's why people like it so much. But yeah, definitely check this one out if you haven't already. It's won all kinds of awards, I believe, and it's at the World Series of Board Gaming. Number 12, my number 12 for the month, Heat, Pedal to the Metal. Okay. Just checking comments real quick. Dark Satanica says, Stone Age was one of the funniest tabletop episodes. Oh, I don't remember that. I do remember Will playing that on tabletop, but I don't remember the comedy bits of that. But yeah, I'll have to check that one out. Magic Eric says, I think Heat has more nuance in the play than many people think. And that definitely, for sure, can be tough to do well. Yeah, and it's really... there's nuance as far as like how far do you push your engine. You're collecting the heat. You're trying to get rid of it. Yeah, so Heat, definitely a solid game. If you haven't, folks, please check that one out. You know what? I don't know how to segue from this, but you got your race game. Now I'm going to go to a cat game. This is my number 11 for the month, Cat Flux. Now, this is not a race game. This is a Flux game. Flux is defined by its simple play. Draw a card, play a card. Draw a card, play a card. But cards change the game so drastically at times because a lot of the cards have new rules, and you're trying to complete a goal, but that doesn't always work out because things are always in flux. See what I mean? And flux here, I really, you know why it's ranked so high? I did not expect the solo game to be as good as it is. It's more of a puzzle. So as you can see here, there's 2 decks in the solo Flux game. You basically take all your rules cards, put them in one stack, shuffle them up. And then you take everything else, goals, keepers, creepers, everything else in the other deck, shuffle those up, and you're ready to go. You start with the basic rules, draw one, play one. But then each turn, after you play your card as normal, you go to the draw deck for the rules and draw yourself a new rule. Then you go to the main deck and draw from there, depending on those rules. I was really surprised. Now, shout out to Looney Labs for sending over the little playmat here. Makes it easy. But you know, I played it before without the playmat. You don't need the playmat at all. But this just makes it even easier. But yeah, Dark Satanica, the solo rules, I think they work with any deck. What's great is, so there is a QR code in the corner here, but go to the website and they'll have a link. Just look under solo rules and they'll tell you what you need to take out from each deck. Like, just find the solo game you're looking for, whether it's Cat Flux, Marvel Flux, or whatever. And then it'll tell you what cards you need to take out. It's basically the cards that, have like the multiplayer type cards or like, do stuff with other players, etc. So, it works with, I played Cat Flux, I played Mystery Flux, I've got Marvel Flux on deck. I'll play that one next. It is a lot of fun, friends. And it's, I was talking to, who was it? I was talking to Eric Burgess, actually, a local game designer friend. And we both agreed we like Flux better as a solo game. Now, Flux is fun, especially with new players. If they're, it can get super chaotic. It can last like 5 minutes or it can last 30 minutes. It just depends. The solo games, you just go until the entire deck of cards, one deck of the cards is run out. Then you count up your score. How many goals did you complete? It's terrific, yeah. Dark Satanica says, I have Zombie Flux, been years since I played it. Oh, okay, cool. Mike N says, what is best games of the month, games you played? Yeah, so if you're just joining me, friends, I ranked the games that I played in the last month as far as like what's the best games that I played, and then I'll talk about the games that you played. I also record this for YouTube, so we're at number 11. I'm going to move on to my number 10 game of the month that I played. So number 11 was Cat Flux, a terrific game. Number 10, it's some of the latest hotness. It is Nature. If you have ever played Evolution, Nature is the game for you. You are trying to evolve your species, and this is just, it takes evolution and streamlines it. That's what I really enjoy about this. You still got your traits, you still have the different sizes for all your prehistoric animals, and you still have to feed them at the watering hole, but this just takes everything about Evolution. I mean, if you like it, then I think you're really gonna like what they've done here. Made it a lot easier to play. I feel like it's a little more accessible for those who have never played it. I really enjoyed Evolution back in the day. I have still not played all the different variations. I know Oceans, I have a copy of that, which I feel terrible about. I have not played that one, but there's different versions of the game. Nature in itself, this was just released at Gen Con. It also has expansions, so I'd like to check that out as well. But we played at Critical Hit Games, and me, Chris, and Luis had a good time with this. But definitely check this one out. Number 10, Nature. I'm going to check out this coffee real quick. And we're going to move on to number 9. Oh, number 9. We just had Cat Flux. Why don't we talk about another cat game? 2 cat games. Cats are hot right now, apparently. Number 9 is Cat Between Us. This was a surprising game to me. Played over at the Op. So the Op had a bunch of us content creation folks over at their office in Carlsbad, California earlier this month. Shout out to the Op. And they showed us some of their new games, and I'll be talking about them, starting with this one here, the Cat Between Us, or Cat Between Us. It's how do I describe this? It's so unique. so you have the different symbols there, right? You have a cactus. It's sort of like a trick-taking game, but what you're trying to do is get right between the cats. So those are the scoring cats, right? Those are your scoring markers, right? And you never want to be all the way in the front or in the back. You're trying to stay in between. And what you're trying to do, let me rewind this a little bit here. I think this is the Game Boy Geeks video. So you play your cards. You get shuffled up these cards. You're going to place them here. You play them either, depending on, what you're trying to score. Once each one has two of them up, like over here, then you're going to score what's left in your hand, right? So depending on how high certain ones have gone, that'll give you more points. And then as you score, oh yeah, they're different phases as well. It's like two phases. You score your cards, you play your cards, and you're going to score them, and then you're going to rank up here. So whenever you go, there's like a 1, 2, 3, 4 piece scoreboard here. Whenever you get to like the edge of one, that means you're going to start at that level, and then everyone else is playing catch up to you. But there's a catch up mechanism as well. I know I'm not explaining this great. I do have a copy of this game. I just remember, here's what I remember, and I'm not giving you the best explanation, but I'm going to create a video for this. But check out the other videos, like Gans, this is great. But I remember this very distinctly. There was at least a dozen of us, and we all said the same thing, that none of us had played this game before. We were all super surprised. It was one of the surprise hits that day from what they showed us. And I played with, I think, Paula Deming and a couple other folks. But I remember Paula, because we were sitting next to each other, and Paula's a big cat fan. And we're both just the whole time we're playing games like, oh, that's clever. You know how every time we put it on card, everyone was like, oh, clever. Oh, clever. So tune back into my channel. I will have a more detailed, a better explanation, because things just go out of my head. I should have reviewed this before I actually did my video today. But you know what? It was a terrific game, and that's why I ranked it number 9, because I thought very highly of it. Number 9 for the month is Cat Between Us. Okay. Let's move on to number 8. This is a game I do remember because I did a full video for this for Rahdo Runs Through. It's a game called Disco Heist Laundry. Can't forget that name. It's a terrific name for a game, and it's a funny name because it reminds me of not the name itself, but just the game itself is set in the 1980s, and it's got a bunch of funny 80s references to these like heist movies. And as you can see here, it's got this really clever tableau building mechanism. So you have your cards, play them your tableau, and then you do the action. But then there's a second phase where you have the option to exhaust or quote unquote or tap it, give you another action, and then depending on where you're at, it's going to allow you to combo. And then once you combo, that's when it gets really powerful. And this one, what I thought was so clever was, you have your different, you have like your different factions, and you're trying to build up your gang of thieves, right? So think like Ocean's 11, heisting, going to different hotels. It's all based in Vegas, so you have the different locations and stuff. But what's really neat, again, what I really loved about this is the combat phase. Is it called combat? No, turf war or something like that. So after a couple of rounds, you go to each location and find out who has the most at each location. And whoever has the most, there's an action on each of those locations, that are randomly placed. So you shuffle up the tiles locations, and so you have a different board every game. And then whoever has the most meeples or presents there will take that action. And depending on how many you have there, like let's say Michelle and I, in like the example game that I did for Rahdo, like I had 4 meeples, she had like 2. So then you do the turf war, basically 1 for 1. So now she gets rid of her 2, I get rid of my 2. I still have 2 there. So that tile, when it comes around to me, I get to do that action twice. So it's a really cool way to do that. And yeah, so from Rock Manor Games, I see people in chat. Just finished on Kickstarter. Thanks to Nix. I think they may have late pledges, but this is from Rock Manor Games. Again, a sponsored playthrough. Very clever game. Disco Heist Laundry. I know that area control games aren't for everyone, but I feel like the area control in this, I don't know, because there's other things going on that you do for most of the game, mainly through that tableau engine building part. And then the area control, every couple of rounds. You do it 3 times a game, three eras or whatever. And I think it's just really a solid game. And yeah, they successfully funded a couple of a couple of days ago, I believe, and well worth their money, the money they're asking for. I just think it's a great production and terrific game. That is Disco Heist Laundry. All right, moving along to number 7. Now, I did a video for this, and it's not available yet. The game, it will be out, I believe. I think the Kickstarter will be early next year or late this year. I'm not sure. The numbers, the dates, I do not know yet. But is my number 7 for the month, Nothing But Net. Now, y'all know I love my sports. I love my Dodgers, but I also love the Los Angeles Lakers, the owners of 17 NBA championships. And I have not found a good basketball game, board game, until right now. Nothing But Net is terrific. It is a 2-player game. And I'm just going to, now, I was going to show my video. I did it for Our Family Plays Games, but I realized, they probably don't want to show it just yet until it's officially out, the campaign launches. So all I can do is attest to the fact that I really enjoy this. It's my number 7 for the month. It's a 2-player battling game. It's a race game. So it's based on like Street Ball. So I don't know if you all played one-on-one back in the day when you were kids, or at least, I did, where it'd be like the first to 21. Right, you score, your points, and whoever gets to 21 first. Actually, we used to play to like 7 or whatever. But anyways, in this one, it's a card-based game. You have a deck of cards. You are going to, it's sort of a little bit of deck building, where you can purchase cards after each round and improve your lot and improve your player, because it's one-on-one. It's really fun. It's very thematic. The art, I really like the art style as well. It's got that street ball, aesthetic, I guess. And it's got a little bit of dice rolling, just to see if you make a shot. But the dice tower itself, I'm going to say this, I'm not showing it. But the dice tower itself, it's really cool because it looks like a basketball court. And it's the box that it's one of the coolest components that I've seen. And the basketball, it's a D12 that you roll, and it looks like a basketball, right? Because it's orange or whatever. You drop it in, and that's going to tell you your result as far as shooting. But of course, all the cards that you have will help mitigate luck. It'll give you better chances. You may have to hit a free throw or two. Nothing But Net is immediately one of my favorite. I can't think of any other basketball game that'll beat this, that's out there, that's not like a simulation, right? I want something like Baseball Highlights 2045 for basketball, which I believe they have. I think Mike Fitzgerald did one for basketball, and I reached out to Eagle Griffin, but I never heard back. I was hoping to get a copy of that, but because I don't know if it's still in print. But anyways, Nothing But Net, I think for me right now, for my money, it's gonna be the best basketball game out there. That's why it's my number 7. Okay, 6 more games to talk about. Let's start with this one. I was just talking about my trip over to the op to hang out with folks and play games. One of the games we played was T-Witches. Yes, the team from Flamecraft has come out with the next game in the art style, and we call it cozy gaming, I believe it is. And this one, friends, another surprise. This is super, super thinky. Like, remember how beautiful Flamecraft was? This is just as beautiful, right? Same artist, same designer, but T-Witches is definitely more strategic. It was surprisingly deep or complex, but it wasn't like a super brain burny. But there were, like, as you can see there, you've got the rondelle where you can, not rondelle, but the different worker placement spots you can go to. And you're going to have to figure out, how am I going to get the ingredients I need to make my teas for the witches? Super cute, super cozy. And you have your tea cabinet or whatever, you're trying to collect things. A lot more going on in this game than I expected, and it was terrific. Now, I do gotta say, I won the game that we played, our demo game, but shout out to Andrew at the op. He sort of helped me along there, so I like to take credit for half the victory. But if you like Flamecraft, you like that cozy aesthetic and just the look of it, but you wanted something a little more complex, T-Witches is for you, friends, because this is beautiful, just beautiful, but definitely more complex and a lot more meat on its gaming bones, as I would say. All right, so that's number 6, Tea Witches. And finally, number 5, this is one of the other games that we previewed at the op. This is a game called Fountains. And now this was my jam. I loved Fountains. Why? Because it was a tile laying game. Oh, there's actual fountains here in the preview video. Oh my gosh. I obviously didn't watch this before. There are the tiles. They're nice, chunky, like foam core board. And you're just building fountains on next to each other. But as you can see, you can go 3D. You can build up. So think of, Cascadia, those type of tile laying games, but now you're going to build up. And what you're trying to do is, you're going to score as many points as the level you're on. So a little bit of Acropolis as well. The higher you get, the more points. But fountains, you're building this beautiful fountain. You need water to flow throughout it, right? So anytime you build up, if there are no if there's no water connected, you're going to get, this little, okay, so you can see, I love the little graphic there where it shows how the water would flow. If it doesn't flow down, you get 0 points for anything that's in that area until you get another like open water source where it can get your fountain to flow. This was awesome. I love this. I'm going to be playing this real soon again because it has a solo mode. And y'all know how much I love solo mode. So I'll be hopefully doing a solo video real quick here soon. Real soon here. Okay, so that is Fountains. Moving right along to number 4. What do I have here? Oh, you know what I should do is hydrate. And then we shall continue. Number 4 is we did a sponsored unboxing and played through the first round of this. It is Pathfinder Quest. Beck and I played this on Good Morning Society. We open up the box, and just like you would do if you when you get this game, you're gonna open it up and you just start reading. Becca did some of the flavor text, and then I punched out some of the bits, and you jump right into the adventure. It's really cool. It's trying to bridge that gap between role-playing games and board games where you have these characters, you have the story, it is like an RPG, but you can jump right in and play it. So after you read it, you have your characters, and it's going to give you like little missions to do. So I think in this case, Beck and I, we had our characters, and we had to get from like one part of the stable to another. And by doing that, we had to fight a couple of baddies, and it's done in that really cool way. So my wife, Michelle, a longtime teacher, she told me all about scaffolding, right? As far as teaching, where you start with one thing and you're going to build upon it. And you're going to, start with something. In this case, you start with your characters, and then you're going to learn about their class, the different abilities and their traits, like dexterity, and combat. I think Becca might have been like the warrior, or no, maybe the wizard, or maybe I was. So we had to learn, you learn as you go as well, which I love about this. You have the little adventure book and the rule book, and it breaks it down such really little manageable pieces. And we got through the first adventure in like 20-30 minutes, and it was great. And again, this was we did this live on Good Morning Society every Wednesday, folks. Every Wednesday morning, 10 a.m. Pacific. So we went through that, and then I think we might have started the second one as well. We didn't want to do too many spoilers because this game is on Kickstarter right now, the deluxe edition, and we just got the prototype. But it was like, for a prototype, it was like, wow, this is huge, and it's beautiful, and it's got the dice. You got different dice you're gonna roll for different effects. So if you've ever been curious about RPGs, I think this is the way to go, and that's why I ranked it so highly. I think this is like one of those really terrific ways. Pathfinder, if you don't know, Pathfinder is a long-time RPG system that people love, and Quest is going to take folks like me who are into board games and bring them in slowly but surely into that world and get into that gameplay. So Pathfinder Quest, folks, my number 4 for the month. All right. Number 3 is another game that Beck and I played on Good Morning Society. It is a game that is not an RPG, but another game from the Op. Golly, the Op is all over the place today, but good for them because they put out great games, including Tacta. Tacta is just a deck of cards with different colors and shapes on them, and on your turn, you're going to play one, and you're going to keep playing one. We each have a deck, And what you're trying to do, it's a very clever way of doing area control or area majority. So Beck and I are both trying to score the most points by covering up our opponent's cards and keeping ours on top so we score most points. But the thing that makes it tricky is your cards can only go certain ways. You can't just like plop them there willy-nilly. There's like different ways, angles that you're allowed to depend on what card you draw. Like some will have, you can only place this on a corner, or this only along the edge. And then depending on how many of your color is shown, that's how many points you get at the end of the game. Excellent game. So it's got a little bit of tile laying, but that area control bit, so good. And it works at various player counts. I loved it too. And Becca, this is one of the, she actually taught this. This is one of the games she raved about at Gen Con. And I remember her talking about it, and I was like, oh, I can't wait to play it. And sure enough, I had a copy, so I brought it into the studio a few weeks ago and we played it. It was a hit, folks. Is my number 3 for the month, Tacta. All right. 2 more games to talk about, friends. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Number 2 could have easily been my number 1. I struggled with my pick this month for number 1 because my number 2 and number 1, they're 2 totally different games, but I had the best experience with each one of these games. And my number 2 is Magical Athlete. This is the game from CMYK, company that redid Quacks recently, and also the company that did Hot Streak, another terrific racing game. This is their new racing game called Magical Athlete. I love this so much. It is a roll and move game, folks. Roll and move? Really? Is that a good mechanism? Weren't you just talking about Monopoly, Ruel? I was, Ruel. Monopoly, for what it is, roll and move. It can be, when done right, it's still a killer mechanism. It's simple. People know how to do it immediately because all the years we've been playing Monopoly. I think a game called Marrakesh, that game is a roll and move, but also has area control. This one, Magical Athlete, is a strict race. It's just a straight race. You roll and you move. That's it. But what this sets apart from other roll and moves is the cards that we have. Each player will have a team of 4 racers. You do this by drafting before the entire game. You draft 4 racers, and they all have different game-breaking, powerful abilities, which makes it so fun. And you're going to race 4 times. So you, at first, you're going to reveal simultaneously who you're going to race. And then by the time the 4th race comes, you all know you have your final racer to go. But each one has an ability that triggers at different points of the game, and you just roll and move. Whoever's first gets first place points. Whoever gets second place points. On the flip side, which we just played on the wild side, you can get extra points depending on the spaces you land. I love this game. This is one of the best racing games I've played, and it's easily one of my favorites now. It's the one I'm carrying whenever I go to a game night because I know that casual gamers will enjoy this. And all the different players, there's like dozens of little meeples that are specific for each card, right? So in this case, Bailey, Jake and I, Jake was the 3rd wheel, Bailey was a genius, I was the alchemist. Each one had different abilities. So it's like some cards will say, hey, when you move, you get a +2. Or some cards will say, when someone moves, you move as well. Or, this card says, if someone goes in front of you, you trip them. That means they lose their next turn. It is hilariously fun. It sounds like it would not be a fun at all. No, it is an absolute blast. And we love playing it. It was a 3-player game. You could play 2 with a couple of little rules tweaks. And I should have a video. Yeah, I will have a video up real soon. I just shot it here at home of the 2-player experience. So be sure to check that out. Friends, Magical Athlete is fantastic. And I saw it the other day, and just based on CMYK, like I loved Hot Streak, and then I saw that they had a Magical Athlete available, and I just ordered it right then and there, and it shipped to me within less than a week. So less than a week I got it, and I couldn't be happier. Played it several times already, and it is a hit, folks. Magical Athlete, if you like race games, get it. Oh, by the way, look at the art too. I don't know if you could tell, but the artwork is very Schoolhouse Rock, like 70s animation style. And that's another thing that appealed to me. Just the whole package is just perfect nostalgia. By the way, it's a Richard Garfield game. He actually loved the originals. I believe was a Japanese designer, and he just loved it. And recently pitched it to CMYK, like, let's redo it. Let's keep it all. And they've tweaked a couple of things apparently, but they've pretty much kept the game intact. And yeah, it's one of those games that been out of print forever, but now this one, oh, so good. Go get Magical Athlete, folks. That's all I'm going to say. It is that good. And finally, my number one game for the month. It's another one where just get this game. It is so good. Now, this is nothing like Magical Athlete. It's my number one game of the month. It's one of my favorite games of the year. Actually, if I could go back in time to last year, this probably might have been my game of the year. It's Endeavor Deep Sea. It lived up to all the hype. All the hype, folks. Endeavor Deep Sea is absolutely brilliant. Yeah, I loved it. My video just came out of me playing the solo game. And what it is, you've got these different tech tracks. You are diving in the ocean, trying to explore, and you're trying to get different victory points on all these different things that you're trying to do. Whether it's on the tech tracks themselves, you have some of these journal cards. You're going to be journaling, and those some of those give you victory points as well. Oh my god. I played it 2 players solo. I don't think I played it 3 or 4 yet, but I want to. And I think you can play up to 5, but I think 3 or 4 might be the sweet spot here. But what I love about this, especially in the solo game, your turns at first are super simple. Do one thing, next round. So it's like, oh my gosh, we have 6 rounds to play, or I think it's 7 in the solo game. They add 1 round. But it's like, how am I going to get anything done? There's just no way. But as the game continues, as it progresses, like you start hitting milestones and you start getting bonuses, which allow you to start comboing and chaining things together. And it just feels good. It really feels good. By the end of the game, that last round that you play, you're able to do so many things. It's great. And it's like, oh, I unlock this. I do that. I get this. I get bonus powers. Wait, I get bonus to this. I get a bonus on that. I'm going to move up my tech track. I can do that. In the solo game, you're going to have different goals, but you also have setbacks. So those are going to sort of bring you back down to earth. Basically, oh, you're going to lose this or lose that. And that's an additional challenge. I love this game. I think it's what I love about this game the most. And I love games that do this, where it's simple to explain. The turns are really simple. You start, and here I am here at the start of the round. I just select one of those new workers that are going to add to my crew. And I just select it. Now, it depends on how high I am on that particular tech track. That's going to allow me, that's going to show me who I can draft, level 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. And then that's going to come immediately. And then I get the action discs. It's all about getting those action discs. You get them in different ways, and you're going to use those to go out and do the actions. It's resource management, and it's just brilliant, folks. I don't know what else to say. It is an absolute brilliant game. Shout out to Burnt Island Games for sending me a copy. I love it. I've sold it a bunch of times. It's hard too. No. Well, I sort of beat the solo game once, but I was like, I think I might have fibbed, or I might have missed something or two, which allowed me to win. But played a 2-player with Daryl recently. He enjoyed it as well. I think it's just a brilliant game. That's why it's my number one for the month, Endeavor Deep Sea. All right, friends, that's going to do it for this episode of Tabletop Recall. Be sure to check out the VOD because that's going to be where you can find all of the games I talk about with you all in the viewing audience and in the Discord community. But for now, I'm going to drop a link to that in the show notes, and I'll talk to you later. So long. Take care. Bye-bye. Okay, friends, thanks for hanging out. That was my list of 20 games. And let me get your list here. You know what I should do? I should take a quick break. Yeah, we're going to take a quick break. And we'll be right back. And I'm going to start talking about the games that you all enjoyed. Silver says, sounds like Thunder Road as a foot race. Oh, yeah, talking about Magical Athlete. So good. AB True, yeah, special powers are crazy. Wasn't Magical Athlete based on Shohei Ohtani? I believe it was. He is the unicorn. Okay, let's take a quick break, folks. About 5-10 minutes, and then we're going to talk about the games that you all enjoyed this month. All right, be right back. And we are back, friends. Thank you so much for joining us. Hey, Panda Angels in the house. Hi, Amanda. How are you? Vending Machines says Magical Athlete isn't available through my distributor yet, but as soon as it is, Instabuy. Yeah, I think it's an Instabuy. Beach Travis says, not sure if there's much you can do, Ruel, but when you interact with the table, the camera gets a bit bouncy. Yeah, thanks for noticing. Yeah, it's whenever I talk a lot like this, and I know that I have my camera here on my computer monitor, so if I hit that, I get too excited about these games, especially when I'm typing and stuff. So I used to have it on a stand that was a tripod over here, but the pugs come in and out. They're actually pretty quiet, and they'll come in, but then they've knocked it over before, like just, other times you'll see it wobbling. So I put it back on my monitor. I've got to find a better way. I used to have it over here mounted on the wall, so but it's at an angle. Maybe I'll go back to that. I sort of like that, but I don't know what it is. I like this. What do y'all think? Is it better for me to talk directly at you, or do you like it on the angle where I'm sort of like this, right? So I'm not really looking at you, but let me know, and I could always switch it up. But yeah, let's see. What the other? Okay, I think I'm caught up on comments. I like the straight on shot. I'll live with the best. Yeah, it's really, I need to get, so my other tripod I took to the store, Critical Hit Games, and we have that tripod used for the face camera there. But thanks, Travis. I'll work on it. Maybe I should just buy a new tripod, right? But hey, friends, now we are into the segment of the show where we talk about the games that you all played. And by the way, did you notice during the Be Right Back screen, I had something that talked about this game here, red letter, yellow letter. I'm going to show you how to play that in just a few minutes as well. It's a new party game from 25th Century Games. Nathan Thornton. I don't know if you know that name, but he's the one that did Green Team Wins. This is his new party game. It's terrific. I'm going to do a quick teach of that as well after we talk about the games that you played in the month of September. So why don't we go over here? I've got Game Riotous Guy is up first. Game Riotous Guy played 31 different plays of 14 different games. The one I want to highlight is Agueda. This is the one about umbrellas. There are actually two games that were talking about umbrellas. I think it was like Umbrella, and this one was this Agueda City of Umbrellas? I like this one better. It was a little more puzzly, and I liked how, you had the different the different umbrellas you had to manage here, and you have so many different things to think about, the different goals. And I just like this one better, where the other one, the other umbrella, which is perfectly fine, it was more just a straight puzzle. Right? You're just trying to push umbrellas in and out and get them lined up. This one has a little bit more going on as far as you can see between each round, you're just pulling from the bag new tiles, and you have to try to unlock different abilities and so forth. So I really like that this game. So Game Riotous Guy, that was there's one of the goals. Game Riotous Guy, that was one I wanted to highlight from you. Let's move on. AB Trube talking about Luthier. This one is a big, heavy game that I know a lot of my friends have been into lately. I've heard mixed things, and I think A.B. Trube might have said something a little bit mixed here. Said he actually played Saltfjord and Luthier. Like their depth overboard high on either. Okay, what was it? Overboard, but not overboard high. Okay, got it. So AB Trube liked these games, but didn't love them, basically. And I've heard a little bit about that similar take, where they thought it was really clever, Luthier, but it was not like their favorite complex game of the year. I'm not sure. I've not played it. I'm really curious. I love the theme, the music theme, the old school music theme. But yeah, this is one of those games with a lot of moving parts, and I have another game group, which I haven't been to in a while, but I know they've been playing this on the regular the last couple of weeks, because I think they're, they played through it a few times. Then I don't know if it's going to remain their collection or not. But this one I'm curious about. AB Trube sounds liked it, but didn't love it. Magic and Eric played 26 games, 26 plays of 20 different games. He said September was definitely a quality over quantity month for him. And Tea Garden was the highlight, and I'm going to highlight that as well. Let's take a look at Rado's run through. I love Tea Garden. I got to play this with Kelly from Variant Hex, and also Linnaeus, who a bunch of you know in the community. Is a terrific game from the same designer as SETI. But I've not played SETI yet, but this one's a lot more accessible, I think, as far as like complexity from what people have said, but also theme wise. You're growing teas, different teas here, and you have different secondary actions that you can do. You have your main action, and what's really neat is the way that the teas leaves either age or basically improve or don't improve, and depending on how they go in your little the tea I don't know, not kettles but areas, you're gonna get better actions because of it. But this is terrific. I really enjoyed this. It took us at least an hour, maybe hour and a half, but it's one of those games. It's a heavier game, but just everything. And again, this is what I love about any game, any heavier game. Give me stuff like Endeavor Deep Sea, where it's like, oh, the actions are pretty straightforward, but it's as you get into the game itself, you're going to notice, oh, this is how we're going to combo this or combo that. And, oh, I need to do this. You never have enough turns to do everything. And I love games like that. Give me that, or that type of complexity over like, oh, there's so many rules and so many edge cases. I got to, figure it out. No, give me games like Tea Garden that are really, I feel, easier to learn. And I'd rather, spend that time trying to think out my turns rather than trying to spend time looking at edge cases or rule books or whatever. So, IT Omar Hernandez says, oh man, did I mention a highlight? No, you didn't, Omar, and I'm going to highlight one for you. Omar played 65 games, 37 different games. And the one I wanted to highlight, Omar, was I made you a mixtape. And the reason why I'm highlighting it is because I just got my copy and I have not played it yet. As you can see here, I've logged in my copy. This is the 1 to 4 player game from Mike DeLisio and Dan Hughes, both. Well, Mike's still a contributor to Dice Tower. I think Dan was back in the day. But Dan is the gentleman who he and his daughter came out with Cora Quest a couple of years ago, which is terrific. But I love the theme of this. It's, is our mixtapes are still a thing, right? It's all about playlists. Back in the day, we used to get cassette tapes and put our favorite songs on them, and then it became mixed CDs, and then now it's playlists digitally online. But what is it? It's a card-based game. I Cut You Choose. That's right. I Cut You Choose and Set Collection. I knew the set collection because you literally, check out all the tapes here, and I love the look of it, and I love that people got their old school, boom boxes and stuff. And yeah, I haven't even looked at the game. I backed in immediately once I saw Mike and Dan were involved. I was like, Mike, he specializes in reviewing for the Dice Tower, like the solo games. So I'm like, it has a solo game. Mike's involved, immediate back. So I am going to, look forward. I am looking forward to playing this. And Omar, let us know. How'd you like it, Omar? If you want to talk about it here, I'll get your comment on board here. But let us know how you liked it, Omar. B Travis says, has Ruel ever made a mixtape for someone? Yeah, I have. Actually, I made a mix CD for Michelle when we were first dating many moons ago. I don't remember what was on it, but I don't know if she still has it. It was a long time ago when we still had CDs, right? But maybe I'll have to do a playlist. Okay, Omar says, to be honest, I played such great games last month, but I have to highlight Brass Birmingham because I never played it before and thought it was astounding. Yeah, okay, cool. Omar, Brass Burnham, agreed. That's one of my all-time favorite heavier games. I call it a heavier game for me. I just think it's so brilliant, that mix of, card-based play. It's pretty simple. You have cards, you do actions, but trying to line up your networks just right in order to deliver the goods and sell them at the peak of their, the prices. And, it's been a while since I've played Brass, but always enjoy that one. I'm glad you liked it. It's a brilliant game. It is a brilliant game. Magic Eric says the mixtape Ruel made was a bunch of Vince Scully's greatest calls. I'm not going to lie. One of my playlists, actually maybe more than one playlist, they're just called baseball playlists. So I have like a couple. One is like literally just, and Michelle and we have listened to this in the car where it's just old school baseball organ music. So it'd be like, bum 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 bum, cheer, charge, and then it has all the different organ music you would hear at a baseball game. So that's one of my mixes. The other mix I have are the Los Angeles Dodgers 2025 walk-up songs. So each player walking up has a song. So it's like Shohei Ohtani starts with the Michael Bublé song, and then Mookie Betts, I forget his one, but the big one is Freddie Freeman. He's got the best one of all. It is a Latin-based song. It's a song in Spanish, but it's got this beat. It's got the horns, and then like it literally every time he comes up to bat, the entire Dodger Stadium is like clapping, dancing. It's the best. But anyways, I digress. Let's get back to what we're talking about. Okay. Omar says, I thought I Made You a Mixtape was really good, quite accessible, and my wife says my wife keeps kicking my ass. My former DJ life means nothing. Oh wait, you had a former DJ life, Omar? Means something. Oh wow, that's awesome. So folks, from a former DJ to us, Omar says it's a good game. So let's remember that, and let's move on to Alex. You may know Alex from vendingmachine.games. He's here all the time. He actually has vending machines in the Los Angeles area, which I've not seen yet. I've been trying to get out there. I was going to go out there today, but I've just got too much going on. I'm hoping next week, one of these Mondays, I'm going to get out there. But he has various days. For me, Mondays always works best. But his vending machines sell board games and card games, folks. It's awesome. So follow him if you don't already. Vending Machine Games on Instagram. He played 10 different games. I'm going to highlight Odin from him because I believe Odin is on sale at one of his, you may be able to pick it up, and he'll let us know if you can pick it up in the vending machine. But this card game, it's a really simple like card shedding game, and I've gotten beat at this by Linnaeus and Variant Hex, Kelly, and it's beautiful art, really simple, but again, a game that's accessible. You're going to be able to, jump into it with casual gamers right away. And I think that's why Alex does have it in the vending machine. So in one of his vending machines there, because it's something that you could pick up and play at a bar or at a brewery where he has different events. So again, that's the BGG folks there playing it. Going back to Omar, he said, used to DJ for 16 years, nightclubs, college. Wow. Did all right. Nice. Okay, Omar. Learn something new every day. Love it. Folks, don't forget to hydrate. I'm going to hydrate right now. Some coffee. And a little water. Got to say you're high hydrated. Super hydrated. Moving right along. Daryl and I, we haven't done this in a while. We used to do our... what's it called? Our On the Clock series, where we'd play games on a chess clock, play as fast as we can. And I mentioned that because Mo, one of our regulars here, Mo Pop, talked about the different games he played, including Smartphone Inc., Vantage, Attack, Dune Imperium, his own game, Dark Heist. If you're not seen that yet, check out Dark Heist. Mo's the designer of that and a publisher, a self-published game. But I wanted to highlight Force Shuffle that he played because I haven't played it in a little while. Daryl and I played it on speed mode here, and we knocked it out. Was it 15 minutes? Under 13 minutes. One of the best recent times. It's got that like multi-use card ability, and it's a ton of set collection. You can see all the different cards at the top there. Those are the different scoring cards. So this game may actually play better on BGA because you don't have to remember all the different scores. It like helps you along, and you don't have to shuffle and anything else. But I really enjoy this one. All the different animals that you're going to tuck under your trees, either left, right, up, or down. And then anytime there's 10 cards in the clearing there, you have to clear them out and reset. And you go until towards the end of the deck, there's going to be three, like, I forget what they're called, the three things that you pull out. You pull out the third one, game's over. But yeah, this one, it's always a hit. And it's been a minute since I played. I should probably hit up Daryl, see if we can play it again soon. Yeah. Mopop says, yeah, those scoring cards could have been a book, totally. I mean, I do appreciate they did the cards like that, but yeah, there's a lot. And expansion coming soon. Yep. Bing, hi, Bing. Cubs over Phillies. Wait, what? The Cubs need to win a game first, right? And the Phillies need to win a game first. Mo, I have not played the solo mode yet. I'm looking forward to that. But just want to highlight that from Mo. That is for Shuffle. My buddy Oscar, D. Oscar, you may see him in the Discord every now and then. He's been playing a lot of Magic Commander. He also played Fountains. He got Fountains, which I talked about during my wrap up. He loved punching out the fountain bits because they're big and chunky. I'd mentioned how they were like foam core pieces. They're great. But we're going to highlight Magic Commander. I want to just shout out over here Commander Party, which is a show that Iffy and Becca host. It's a regular show where they play Commander with different friends in the studio. And I've not been able to, I keep saying I'm going to take the dive. I haven't taken the dive yet, folks. And Oscar, actually, he did something for me. He was so kind. He got me a Godzilla deck, or like a Godzilla card and Godzilla sleeves. He's trying to get me into Magic, folks. Oscar, you're doing a bang up job. It's on me. One of these days I will. Becca's been trying to get me to play. So is, I think Matt over there at Good Times Tonight. Everyone's trying to get me to play. I don't know why I don't. At this time, maybe I'll talk to Iffy. I'll say, Iffy, get me into the game. And, he's got the cool shirt. And, but yeah. If you're into Magic, folks, if you're into Commander, please check out Commander Party. There's a bunch of episodes. I think they're on episode, is it 9, 10, 12? I don't even know. But Oscar, that's for you, buddy. Let's move on to another user. Now, this game, Suboptimal said they played Clank Catacombs, Ark Nova with the Marine Worlds expansion, Yokohama, and Wondrous Creatures. I wanted to bring up Wondrous Creatures because I've not played this game. I've only heard of it. But the reason I want to bring it up, well, let's take a look at Rado. So here's Rado's video here. He and Alex played it. It talked about like this unique worker placement system. Has anyone played this? I love worker placement, and I don't know anything about this game except that people really enjoy it. And I see Rado and Alex playing here. I see some tracks you keep track of stuff here, but you had me at a unique worker placement, so I'm immediately curious. I don't know if Suboptimal, if you're in chat, but let me know, or you can let me know later in the Discord what you thought of this game. Hopefully you liked it because it seems cool. All right. Mopop says it's fun, more tableau than worker placement. Okay, cool. IT Omar Hernandez says, I used to Commander Hard, sold the bulk of my collection 15 or so months ago. Okay, got it. And I know folks come in and out and do that stuff. Board Game James, hi. Board Games James says, love Wondrous Creatures. Oh, good to know. Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing it. I don't know what it is. I don't know anyone that has it actually. So maybe that's it. Maybe that's why it's not hasn't. Whoops. Maybe that's why it hasn't gone on my table yet. Why is it this? Let me go over here. Okay, there it is. Got it. So let's move on, shall we? What other games we got to talk about here? We've got a couple more folks here. Again, thank you all, friends, for sharing. If you want to share a game or two here as we're here live, I'm going to go through the final couple of games here that people shared on the Discord. And DC played a bunch of games. DC played Emberleaf, Teotihuacan, Bitoku, Sushi Go, Veiled Fate, which I almost talked about, but I've talked about that on the channel before. What I am going to talk about is one of the games that DC played called Orbit. Now, why did I choose Orbit? Because of this designer right here, Reiner Knizia, the one and only doctor. And actually, I played this game. I played this at Shu and Christina's house a couple of weeks ago, or a couple of months ago. It's been a while. But it is this really fun little space game, and it's an abstract at heart. It reminded me, what did it remind me of now? Darn it. Not innovation. What's, oh man, what is this Dr. Knizia's game that's sort of like this? Has anyone played Orbit? Let me know. Suro, thank you. And not Knizia's game, but yeah, sort of you're laying down tiles, and then you're creating movement for your little spaceships, and you got little missions you got to do here. I like this. Again, I think it was Shu that taught it great, and it was one of those games. By the end of the game, it was like, oh, I think I know what to do now. I want to play it again. But of course, we had moved on to playing. I think it was Hot Streak at that point, and that was a blast. But yeah, I love Bitewing. I'm assuming it's Bitewing Games. Let me check. Yep, Bitewing Games with art by Vincent Dutray. I love that Bitewing is doing this where they have signed a bunch of Knizia games and they're repackaging them. And the designs, this one is actually a newer game of his, I believe. But I know they've done games of his that are older or been re-implemented. Again, The Good Doctor has so many great games, and Orbit, it's actually part of a trilogy, I believe, like a space themed trilogy. I have a space themed trilogy, but I have not played any of the other two. I've only played Orbit, and I really enjoyed it. Okay, Board Game James. I do want to point out this. Where did I just saw your comment. Was it was neat, but ended so abruptly. And I'm trying to remember what my experience was. I think it did sort of like, it's like you play along and it's like all of a sudden, so whoever meets a win condition, yeah, it's over. So I think that's right. But yeah, let's continue. I've got a couple more games real quick here. One from Bing 413, who's in chat, or who was in chat earlier. Bing played Ito, The Crew, Mission Deep Sea, Gentle Rain, and the one I wanted to highlight is a game that I have not played in a while, but I know I really enjoy this one. I'm sure a bunch of y'all enjoyed it as well. But remember this one, Just One. This was our jam back in the day. Gosh, we love this one. And won, I think it won the Spiel, right? Spiel des Jahres. It is a cooperative word-based game, and you're just trying to figure out one person has a clue or a word, and everyone else knows what it is, but they don't. They're trying to figure it out. But you can only use just one word for your clue. And what's funny is, so you and your teammates all try to come up with unique clues. You reveal to each other, and it's like if you have any clues that are the same, those are eliminated. So you want to get clues that will help the guesser, the active player, guess their word, but you want to make it unique enough that they have a bunch of words that they can guess from. I've not played this in a while, but I never forget how much I loved it. It is, it's still my collection. It's one of the all-time great party games. Yeah, there it is, Spiel 2019. It was pre-pandemic. Oh my goodness. Wow. Terrific game, though. I will always recommend Just One. And finally, one final game I want to talk about from Dark Satanica. They played a bunch, said very light on games September, mostly for the Button Shy solo challenges. And then one of the solo challenges I want to talk about is this one here, The Last Lighthouse. I select this one, highlight this one because one of my all-time favorite designers, Scott Alms, he does a lot of stuff for Button Shy. This is Tabletop Toki. She does a bunch of solo game playthroughs. I don't know anything about this game because it just really, it flew under my radar. I didn't know it was out. I had no idea he'd done it. I didn't even look it up. I just said, what? Scott Alms, I'm highlighting this. So I'm going to add this to the list. Friends, thank you so much for sharing your games. And also thanks for sharing games like this where I get to learn as much as you do about what's out there. So I'm going to reach out. You know, there's a lot of Button Shy fans out here. I'm going to reach out to Button Shy and see if we can get a copy of this so I can play through it. Let's continue here. I've got a bunch of comments. Again, appreciate y'all hanging out here. Let's see what folks say. Anne says, learn Pergola, Sand Art, and Ueda recently. Oh yeah, we played Pergola on Critical Hit Games recently. That was a pretty game. That was a beautiful game. Let me see. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, we're tending your garden, and what's really neat, you're going to draft your actions over here. You got like little different tools, and then you have like the main action. You can do it in either order. You're going to do that. In order to set yourself up, you're going to add things to your garden, different animal, or not animals, like flowers and stuff. Terrific game, just beautiful. Let's continue on here. Ooh, folks, hot breaking news. B. Travis says, just got an email saying that Reforest is in beta on BGA. Very fun nature-themed engine-building card game. I heard very good things about Reforest. Okay, Bing says, speaking of Dutray, he's doing art on the second edition of Gates of Loyang, which comes out next month. Oh, nice. Bing also says, Just One, Ito, and Codenames are my go-to games. Ito may have supplanted it for me now. Yeah, I don't think you can go wrong with either one, Ito or Just One. It's so good. Dark Satanica says, Lovecraftian Tower Defense. Oh, is that Last Lighthouse? Nice. All right. I think I'm on about 30 Button Shy. This is Dark Satanica. thinking about 30 Button Shy games now. So many great games, and they're not expensive. Yeah, we love their games here in our community. Again, you are all part of making this a great community here. I'm going to drop my Discord link one more time. But yeah, we're huge fans of Button Shy games. I've done a few run-throughs on the channel, and I always have a few either in my pocket or my backpack or in the car, actually. Yeah, it's terrific. Yeah, especially you can totally buy the print and play too, which, and B. Travis says, it's only a couple of bucks. Highly affordable. Also, there's isn't there a new game coming out from Postmark Games? I could have sworn. I'm gonna check it right now. They were in my socials recently, Postmark Games, or maybe someone was just talking about them. But they're the company that did like Waypoints and a couple other print and play games that are terrific. Koala Rescue Club by Phil Walker Harding. Praise be. Let's see. Was it Embers? Oh, for a new map for Waypoints. That's what it is, B. Travis. Thank you. Oh, hey, you know, why don't I go over here? I'm on their website right now. So 52 Realms. I love 52 Realms. That was great. Waypoints was good too. I played that with Rado. Terrific game. Scribbly Gum. Is that another Phil Walker Harding? I've not played that one. Praise be. Is it Phil Walker Harding? I'm assuming it is just because it's Australian, right? And then you have Battle Card I have not played yet. Voyages. That's the one I played. Was it Voyages? Yeah, that's the one I played with Rado. Voyages. I don't think I played Waypoints. Yeah, Aquamarine's supposed to be good too. Every True played Circle the Wagon last week. Oh yeah, Circle the Wagon's great. Terrific game. 2-player game. That was awesome. Okay, time to wrap it up, friends. Thank you so much for joining me today. This has been our Tabletop Recall, the games that you played, the games that I played. And I'm going to send you all off on a raid. How's that sound? Does that sound okay? Let's raid. And don't forget, tomorrow, no stream for me tomorrow. But Wednesday, 10 a.m. Pacific, Beck and I will be doing Good Morning Society. Thursday, 4:30 p.m. Pacific, I'll be at the store Critical Hit Games, playing another game. Oh, by the way, tomorrow, 4:30, I'm supposed to be Critical Hit Games from home. That's what it is. I'll be playing a game from home for Critical Hit. And yeah, tune into that. Thank you, B. Travis. Thank you all, friends, for hanging out. Let me get the raid ready here. If there's any nominations for raids, let me know. If y'all see anyone we should raid. Anything else I got to cover? I mean, we've already talked about Dodger baseball. How the defending 2024 world champions are back playing again today against the Phillies. The Dodgers, if you're not keeping track, we are 10 wins away from repeating as champions. Yes, we are counting down. We've won 3 of the 13 games necessary to repeat as champions. I've got my Shohei road jersey today. We don't even have to talk about how amazing Shohei is, right? He pitched the other day. Now, he wasn't that great at the plate, but I'm okay because he was pitching. He was amazing. Let's find someone to raid here. We've got Legendary Tabletops playing Wingspan. Noir Enigma is rocking some Cyberpunk 2777. Let's find some board gamers. Mishi Geek. Okay. October Games. Try someone in English, because that's how pretty much what we go for here. Gamer Montu. I don't know what they're playing. Agricola. Okay. Anyone got any suggestions? D-Nix, yeah, all pitches were on point. Great, yeah, it was just, it's amazing. Like, I posted this on my Instagram. Like, it was so amazing to see a guy that's hit 55 homers strike out a guy who has 56 homers. When Shohei rocked Schwarber. Schwarber had no idea where he was going with those pitches. But Flipsy Fiona is on. Thank you, Board Game James. I've never heard of Flipsy Fiona, but on your recommendation, we're going to go find Flipsy Fiona. Flipsy Fiona is playing board games. Thank you so much, Board Game James, for the recommendation. We're going to raid. Folks, stick around for the raid. Share some love. Let them know that we hung out here, talked about a bunch of games. And, yeah. Once again, I always appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Stick around for the raid. It's going to come off in just a second here. And before I get going, go Dodgers. And have a wonderful week. I'll see you on one of the other streams this week. All right. Take care, everybody. Bye.